that has happened in Penhalonga, where someone was killed, an artisanal miner was killed, and we have the video here. And a gentleman who was working with the other artisanal miner was shot. And we have the gentlemen here. I will say their names. But before I go there, we will talk for. I'm with the organization. I represent the organization.
Center for Natural Resource Governance.
Center for Natural Resources Governance. Director is here, Farai Maku. You know him in the context of the Kimberley process, issues of diamonds. He has been arrested on issues around diamonds for some time. The stealing of our diamonds in Mutare. But now there are also other minerals in Mutare that are being exploited. And this is, in this instance, it's gold. And in extracting that gold, people regrettably are getting killed. In extracting that gold, people regrettably are being shot. Now we need to end the culture of impunity. It happened with the diamonds, but now with the gold, as it continues, we need to stop it. The killings are done by corporations that are done. So I will give the context of the ownership of the mine, and then and what is happening, and then the victims will talk about what happened to them. As you all know, there is a mine called Redwood Mine. This mine, according to the website, is owned by a multi-corporal, a multinational called Metallian Gold. So according to their website, they own 100%, at least the latest information that we could get. Metallian Gold owns 100% of that mine. Metallian Gold itself is registered in the UK. It is also registered in South Africa. And it owns mines all over the continent, DRC, and so forth and so forth. And they decided to open Redwood Mine in 2013 or thereabouts. It's reopened. It's a mine that has always existed. But as you know, there are communities that live around that area. These communities have been subsisting in those areas for some time, also getting gold. It is now government policy that artisanal miners are recognized. Artisanal miners are no longer what they will call illegal gold panels. And also it is important to note in our new constitution that it is important that people who live in those communities are able to survive on the resources that they live in. So instead of coming up with a model or a policy of living with the communities properly, like baboons by corporate actors. Why I say people are being shot like baboons is that, you know, when you want to scare a baboon from a field of maize, you shoot in the air, and for months those baboons will not come. Now, when such behavior is being done by corporations against individuals, where you shoot to kill miners so that the rest of the community will not dare to step in those fields or will not dare to exploit those minerals, then you are basically treating people like animals that can be shot on sight. The right to life in our constitution is a fundamental right. Even if someone is stealing or has committed a crime or has trespassed into your property, that doesn't give the right to execute that person unless your own life is in danger. Now, these people did not pose any danger to the miners. They did not pose any danger to the security actors. So we are now having a situation which happened with the diamond fields, where people were being shot as a deterrent not to come to the diamond fields. But as a society, we complain about very small things. People are being detained in prisons for demonstration or for raising a placard. Now these guards who shot these people never spent a long time in jail. They went to court and were given $100 bail. So you can see that the justice system is even made. Now we know that there is a person called Linda Musarira who spent months in jail for holding a placard and demonstrated she never killed anyone. But here we have individuals who shot a person who is here, who killed a person whose widow is here. But those people were made simply to pay $100 fines. And as we speak, they are back at work and they are enjoying their freedom while there's a person in jail. We have contacted Metallian Gold itself, and we have written a letter asking them for compensation for these individuals. And the response that came from Metallian Gold, from their corporate services sector, is that they deny. I think we got a response from Mr. Z Nsimbi. Mr. Z Nsimbi wrote us. That is how important this issue it is to them. Just 4 sentences saying that we deny the allegation and the company does not accept liability. And that is all that Metallian Gold said about this issue. So after these people were killed, assisted in the funeral, they didn't offer any compensation. The widow and the victim have gone there to speak to the manager of the mine, and just last week they were told not to come back anymore because the mine will not do anything. But this is, as a society, we cannot allow this situation where people are killed and things are not done properly. We have also wrote a letter to the police to ask for statements that the complainants made for progress in the matter, and the police have denied us access to the documents. And they have said that since the matter is pending with the courts, they will not give us any documents, which is also surprising. And these are the obstacles that a common man faces in trying to obtain justice in our country. And whilst we are all focusing on what is happening in Harare and so forth and so forth, other people are facing the real struggle of simply trying to be alive in Zimbabwe. So they will tell their story, and then the organization can then explain. I don't know if you want to speak first. So he can tell us what actually he was there, not there. So he knows. You can speak in a language you're comfortable with. Shona, or you can listen what you have seen brief.
That was definitely there are issue born by many level kuma akashutiwa mitafazi wa different ya saka pane mukoma nayo shanda naye ndiye akandishedza kumboti saka then udaro ndakabva ndanotora mota chienda kunomutako ndasvika ashayika daro then wana waiwapa passport vacho vashayika unapa tichienda kumaini kuti kunze secret officer kuti pane munhu ari ashudhiwa kumasecurity guards ari atisa taiva tiri 5 vanhu vasvika passport yovakageti nevamwe vanhu vanga vachingodarika vachimira chikotaurana nemagadzi saka magadzi amwe anopinda nekuwaya kuseri vachiuya kunongana pageti iyo vakavhara geti stiri kunze kwegeti then secret officer ndopakati fire ndopandava ndanoshudhiwa
Ukashudhiwa pale?
What type of policeman then?
Now, she one chitundura kazodibaya.
Uyu akatanga kushudhiwa anga achite.
Uyu akashudhiwa tori kunenge kumakombacho ari kumaminda kumainiko. Ndokune chekoti. Saka ndoko kanoshudhiwa ari.
Achicheka. Vakamushudha sei?
Anotaura anotanzi iwe vakasvika around 8 o'clock vachisvika vachimakomplain vachida kunoona kuti vachida kunoona because vaimbochera kudhara saka vasvika kudaro vanopinda nazvo kuma 10 minutes vari semasecurity avatoona vachidini vari kuchiita vachiuya vakawanda bani ndopavato saka vamwe vanga vachitaurira naye vachipindura vachimutaura vachitaura nevanhu vacho vaitaura sekuru akashayika vachitaura napari saka uyu pai vaange vari papangamira magadzi anga aiwa kuseri kudoka vatomubaya papa sekuru pachida kumutakura pai kuchimutaura kuenda naye vachishudhwa futi
vakambofaya emaoni shots achiti mushayiwa ndeye pane fenzi iri pano pachino
hapana fenzi mutori maminda munorima nano chibaba
munorima chibabimo imi makakurira ikoko
ndakatozvarwa
makazvarwa mupenalo murume wenyu akazvarirwa imo akatokurirawo imo
ndezitatubatese
makatokura mesemo mune vana mangani vane makore mangani 1 year 5 months mukomana papane zvakamboitwa here nevemaini after vanhu ava vashuka
vakauyu maini yakangoprovhaidha mari yebhurial $700 havana kuuya kana kuita sei patazotongotira kuti kuenda kwakumaini kwacho kuti tinzoi pakauya mp airinizinde pakaitika noizi yacho pamaini vanhu vachipinza kofini mukati wakati kofini ati sei ari buri because munhu akatotsa nezuva ari kokoko kwanga ashodhiwa pasina kana uya kumutafu saka iyo magwidha vazototi ngatishimise kofini akangouya bharasiyo vachiisa kofini varaenda kupi maini varatanga kupinzwa chii mukati muprisa irambo tipinde mukati ngapinde mudhifenda ake unoenda kumocha saka magwedha idini airamba achiti munhu ngaatese ngaapinde mukati saka ini pandakazonzi nawo kupinda mukati mumutwe zvaurudini zvauri kutaura maneja wacho zva pandakapinda ndinozoonana namaneja ainizetitakabhandireti akati iwo unenyoshukana nei ndikutaiwa inini munhu afomu ndeite sei handichengeti saka imi moti ndoita sei kana mukati kofindisapini mukati titaure nani namaini maneja wacho akati zvese todeni togadzirisa ngatichikudei panze tideni titaure nenani ndopakabuda panze paadaidza vanhu vese vanobvaungana ataura akati ati neurombo nezvaitika tese toita sei turwadziwa ende zvaitika zvinhu zvakaita sei zvakashata ndobva ndachiti orit maini nokwanisikaotati mwana wangu ndobva ngati usanesekani after burial zvese zvinoita sei zvinogadziriswa ndekuti ndobva katosvikawo aprobva kuklini ndobva kati mukomana uyu ashudwa anodini tichamubhadhara nekumurapisa zvese nemwana wako achachengeta but kubva ipopapo panasatakazonosvika nhasi
pane vamwe vakamboshutirwa here before
waimbourayiwa ndevekuDZ ndo it has been killing since 2006.
kune vamwe vaimbourayiwa kuDZ
Yes.
DZ kune chi omarashenza imana bodi saka vanenge vachikuuraya vanhu so that's fine. I think that is the story. And what we are going to do as a law firm is that we are not going to let this lie. We are going to sue for an amount. By this afternoon, we are going to issue summons. But what we want to do is that our law normally compensates people to the extent of their poverty. But because of the new constitution, we are going to ask for punitive damages and constitutional damages around the right to life, the right to protection of the child, and the right to protection of the mothers. So that's what we are going to do legally. We are going to sue, and the reason why we called you here was to announce that we are going to sue and also to highlight this issue so that at least you as members of the fourth estate highlight these things that can occur in a society and the culture impunity. Public violence and killings for political reasons have been the norm. But when corporate killings go unnoticed, other foreigners will enjoy our wealth whilst our people are killed for those men. But this organization has been working in the community, can better explain the culture of impunity and the violence that has occurred there around the issues of gold and diamonds.
Thank you, Advocate. Yeah, I think what we see in Zimbabwe is that government is literally licensed mining corporations to kill community members whenever they encroach or if they continue to eke out a living through artisanal mining. Personally, I've been tracking corporate killings in Zimbabwe since 2008 in Marange. And although hundreds of Zimbabweans have been killed in cold blood by mining companies, one perpetrator is in prison right now. That is the Chief Superintendent Chani, who was sentenced to 22 years for the killing of many people, dozens of people in Marange. And then now, like I said, DTZ Ozekyu, which is a Russian corporation in partnership with the Development Trust of Zimbabwe, has been killing people in Penhalonga. Not even one security officer from DTZ Ozekyu has been imprisoned for killing Zimbabwean people. And what is also strange is that DTZ is very much close to the government of Zimbabwe, that the president, who is the head of state, appoint the board of DTZ. That's why right now you could have read that Vice President Pelekezela Mpoko has been fighting for the suspension of DTZ operations to be lifted. They want the company to operate. They don't care about the people. And what is also interesting is that when this guy was shot, after the killing also of Tafazwa, when the police arrived at the scene, they took the security guards, not to arrest them, but for safekeeping, because the community was angry. And after 3 days, they released them back to the mining company. Another interesting case is that of Irene Zindi. She was hired by the company to come and calm the community, not to demand justice for David or Dafazwa, but she came to protect the community, the company against the community. And this is what we are seeing throughout the mining sector in Zimbabwe, in that it's a new form of colonialism. Mining companies have become part of the state, and they enjoy impunity. And this is why we felt that this case must not be allowed to just lie down like that, but it needs to be highlighted. We must demand justice for the deceased, we must demand justice for David, and we must demand justice for Violet. And we are happy that Advocate Mafumu has agreed to take up the case. So that's why CNRG is here today. We are just here to say no to corporate impunity. We need to protect the Zimbabwean people. Our people must be free in their own country, in their own communities. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if there are questions, comments.
Normally, Penhalonga, normally side reguchinge kana side regusencustoms.
Now we're going to Penhalonga, they said Penhalonga, Mashups Penhalonga.
Sorry, I didn't get the same
The one.
This is the father, the one.
How old was the person?
23.
23.
So, yeah, and he had one child.
Huh?
Violet, the one.
Yeah, Violet in Norway.
And when were they shot?
26 August.
26 August 2016. I don't know how many of you had heard about that killing.
And I I think it's also important to highlight that the police in Montari refusing to release the post-mortem report of Tafazi to his window, they're refusing to do that.
So we'll sue. The problem is that previously our law says that if you are killed, they compensate you, which is one of the things that is to be fought. So if you kill a beggar, or let's say a man in the street, the law asks you to how much was that person earning before. So sometimes it becomes very cheap to kill poor people. Because, yeah, and that is what, because I think you need to capture that angle very well. It's very cheap for the miners to kill these people because they are poor people. That's why they can then just give them $700 and say that's enough.
Yeah.
But what they've done is they are mining gold worth of millions because they know the law will ask you, but what was the person doing before you killed him? So if the person was a vendor earning $2, you then calculate with how many $2 he was going to earn until he died. So poor people, so in essence, it becomes very cheap to kill poor people because you then, even if you were to lose the court case, you will only be asked to compensate maybe the cost of one bullet or the cost of one gun. So it's a deterrent. That's why I gave the example of how you frighten baboons. Because they want to frighten the whole community not to come and get the gold. So people can watch other people getting rich from the wealth that they are living on top of. And if they try to get it themselves, they are killed, and they are killed cheaply. So we need to stop that kind of impunity. We need to stop that kind of immunity. And we are going to be suing for exemplary damages. We are not going to be suing for less than 500,000 each for these people. And we are going to try and urge the courts, in light of the new constitution, to review how people are compensated when they die in Zimbabwe. Because it is then we will have a situation where it is cheap to kill poor people. So that if you kill a Kasukuere, for example, he had a house, 50 bedroom mansion, and he was earning $200,000. You compensate him richly. Because he was a what? A rich person. So the issue of equality before the law becomes a nonsense. Because it's artificial equality. So ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we called you here for today. And we hope that we will be able to highlight this kind of culture of killing in Zimbabwe from the corporates, which then goes to, it transfers to companies. For those who arrived late, my name is Jacob Mafume, and I'm from Mafume Law Chambers. And that is the capacity I've come to speak to you today. And normally I come and insult other politicians. But today I'm talking about corporate killings, which is a serious issue. And we will sue Penhalonga Gold. We will sue Penhalonga Gold is a South African company. As you know, South African companies are notorious for killing. There was Marikana, Red Wing Mine. Red Wing Mine. It used to be King's Daughter Mine. That's the company that is the company name. It's known in the community as Red Wing Mine. And our King's Daughter Mine. It used to be King's Daughter Mine. It was bought by Penhalonga Gold. And mining companies are notorious for killing to get what they want, and they do it. Yes.
For the next question, I want to know what did they do to
kumwe tindiri yani mota asi tunotora mota different yangu tunotora mota kuti
mota yako
different
yako mota ungopa watosiya ipapo
different ndinopanga ndi mota different
okay
ndiye ndinotora mota.
How about the letter that you wrote to their response?
Copies.
or the copies?
When are you going to file the...
We're going to file this afternoon or first thing in the morning, the summons. And that will then detail the claims that we have. Because they've responded in what I can do is I can get your emails and then I will also ask. I didn't bring many. How about the photocopy? How about the summary? $1 for Oppo. Can you find out for me? Then you can do. Want to drama copies? Just send them for me. You want to drama copies and then
Give the letter and their response as well.
and their response. Sister, and this response. Can I get $1 for charity photocopy? $5. Alright. Can I tell? Oh, please.